Type 2 diabetes is in your genes. Ouch. But genes are not destiny. All they are is a predisposition to trouble. Of course, if you're predisposed, it does mean you're at risk. So you've got to tighten up your lifestyle. You must strive to eat right, cut back on the processed junk food, and just eat real food and get off the couch and get moving. Finally, you need to prioritize your sleep. Yep, others may be able to do the 24/7 lifestyle, but if you're carrying a particular version of a melatonin gene, you're not going to be able to do it without paying a price. The price? Type 2 diabetes. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we probe how a superpowered gene puts you at risk of type 2 diabetes and how you can protect yourself if you know how. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. Now, the problematic gene is one that responds to the hormone melatonin. Melatonin is your own personal night valet. He draws the curtains, rolls down the blankets, and pops a mint on your pillow every night, sending you off into dreamland. Well, that's what he's supposed to do, although melatonin doesn't always follow the script. He's a bit of a cowdy custard. Exposure to blue light keeps him cowering in the pineal gland. He will only put in an appearance once you power down your electronic devices and dim the lights. But I digress. Getting you ready for bed is actually quite a big job and involves a lot more than just removing your makeup and brushing your teeth. It requires a complete change in staffing. Daytime enzymes knock off for the night, and a skeleton staff comes on duty. To avoid chaos, there needs to be a coordinated handover. This is what melatonin does. His exit from the pineal gland pulls the switch in the central nervous system, signaling it's time to get some shut-eye. But melatonin doesn't only work in the brain. This is where that melatonin receptor 1B gene comes in. It creates the melatonin 2 switch. Small quantities of melatonin leave the brain and move around the body, systematically turning these switches off. Now, the switches are located all over the place, including the pancreas. Beta cells, these are the guys that make insulin, also make melatonin 2 switches, and they stick them on their surface. Now, it turns out people with type 2 diabetes often have the RS1083093 version of the melatonin receptor 1B gene. A team of researchers from Finland have established what makes this version of the gene risky. It's a prolific switch maker. In biological speak, this is a gain of function mutation, meaning it works better than normal. And it's in stark contrast with the situation most often found with problem genes, where they are duds. That is, there's been a loss of function mutation. Now, islets expressing this gene express lots of functional switches. And on paper, at least, a gain of function should be good news and provide a genetic advantage. The benefit comes because when your night valet shows up, finding the switch in the half light is going to be a lot easier if there's lots of switches. So melatonin works better. People inheriting the gene are extraordinarily sensitive to melatonin's presence. Melatonin just has to look at the cells and insulin production ceases. Maybe you're thinking, stopping insulin production, isn't this a bad thing? Actually, stopping production at night is a good thing. You see, insulin isn't officially needed at night because while the day shift runs on sugar, the night shift runs on fat, not sugar. And truth be told, it's pretty hard to burn fat when insulin is around. You see, insulin is obsessed with storing things. After all, it's his job to put away the groceries. Only when insulin goes to bed does lipolysis, that is fat burning, really get going. Inheriting this gene should make you a fat burning machine. Yay! Of course, there is a caveat to this. You do need to be getting enough sleep, and you need to be insulin sensitive. So, what if this is not happening? Well, the absence of melatonin means that the off switch is not triggered. Beta cells continue to pump out insulin night and day. The night insulin is highly disruptive because you end up running daytime chemistry all night. Instead of switching on your rest and repair pathways, you're going and growing 24/7. And the fuel source you use to achieve this is primarily sugar. Fats just aren't in high demand. They end up in storage. And as the fat stores build up, adipocytes become more and more uncomfortable and stressed out, while you accumulate more and more layers. Aish. This kind of chemistry, it's not sustainable in the long term. Breakdowns happen. At first, insulin production is stepped up to meet the demand, but if the pattern continues, the breakdowns can be catastrophic. So, the take home message: prioritize sleep. But this is not enough. You must respect sleep too. When the night valet is around, do not eat. This is especially important if you're using melatonin as a sleep aid. Melatonin and food don't go together, particularly if you've been blessed with a supersensitive MTNR1B gene. You must keep these hormones at a distance to create better body chemistry and better health. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Sign up for a one-on-one health conversation, browse our library, or enroll in one of our courses or programs. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who is predisposed to type 2 diabetes? Share this video with them so that they understand how to play nicely with their genes. And if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.